Welcome back to B-Loft by Liptech. I'm David, and we're here in the garage today. It's kind of a crappy day, windy, supposed to rain some more. 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius. Bees are not really flying that much right now because of the bad weather coming in. But I figured I'd take this opportunity to go through all my bee equipment that I've stored for the winter, just re-examine it, make sure everything's ready to go here for the next month, because once I hit April, I'll be adding my supers and making some splits at the end of April. So I have lots of equipment to go through. I have the boxes for the mechanic apiary that I have to re-wax some of them. So we're going to get to melting some wax here. Okay, so I wanted to talk into what we got going on here. So we got some old wax frames here that I need to scrape off and get into the melter here. I'm using an old double boiler roaster oven pan here. As you can see here, I got it from Goodwill. And then I wanted to show you our different types of wax here. So this is definitely old comb that I've either got from cutouts or some old frames. And then this is the lighter comb. We still have some old stuff here. This is some stuff that I refined last year that still needs to be done some more work on. And then we get over here where it's lighter until we get to our cappings here. I put this lid back on here. These were our wax cappings. So I'll get this good stuff here, you know, this wax here that it's a lot lighter. Put all these together, all these here, and work the darker stuff together. So it's probably going to take me 2 or 3 meltings to get all this done, because I don't want to mix up too much of the dark cappings with the light cappings. Get our different quality of wax. And eventually I'll get around to doing something with the wax. So, okay, so I do like I normally do, and I boil a pot of water, and then I add it to the pot here, dumping it over all the wax. And you can see how it's already like separated here. So we have some wax, and then this still has stuff in it that needs to melt down completely. And like I said, this is going to be my cleaner wax. So I'm doing multiple meltings. And if I find anything more to add to this, I will. But we'll see how it turns out. But for now, I'm just going to put that like that. And you can see I got a bunch of wax forming on this wooden spoon. And I just scrape it back into the pot. My hive tool here. Doesn't need to stay on the spoon, but we'll get it into the pot here. And we'll let it do its thing. You can see the edges here. It's already bubbling up. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. So you can see those bubbles right there on the edge. Turn that down just a little bit. I got it set at 250 just to get it going. I'll occasionally stir it, and we'll see how it turns out. It takes a while, and I'm going to get to going through all these boxes, make sure everything's good and set and ready to go for April, when it's time to add all the honey supers and make our splits. Okay, so still bubbling on the edge here, and you can see this is pretty much all slum gum here. It's all the crap that was in the wax, that was on the frames, that was in my little containers. I'm going to try to do away with my little containers this year for wax. You know, I'll keep one at each bee site, but for storing long term, I want to go to the 5-gallon bucket, because I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 of those quick containers for storing wax, and that's just way too many. And then I got a 3-gallon bucket and a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm hoping just to go to 5 gallons altogether, and not have to sorted out this much as I collect it. So, but I'm going to dump this into the bucket now. Go through the screener. I got some water boiling, so I like to run a second batch of water over the pan, over the screen, just to get the excess wax out, because there's always a little bit of wax left in the screen. So let's hold on a moment, and I'll come back to you in 1 second. Okay, so I've just poured that hot wax right through this strainer here, and then what I do is I pull this strainer up, get it off the bucket, and just pull that up and just drain the gunk out of it. Just try to squeeze that wax out by rotating that. It does get hot. So I take my spoon and just keep spinning it. Get all this excess wax out of it. Get it all dripping. Just a lot of wax coming out. Of course, the older your wax, the dirtier it is, the less quality it will be, the darker it will be. Alright, that's how I do wax. Just take a little handle there and hold that wax there, let it drip out. I do like, I still can't remember the guy's name, but he built a little tripod and he just hangs his netting over the bucket and let it drain out. I will build something eventually, but I'll show you the end result. I'll show you some of these boxes here too. Got a bee flying in the garage here at the moment. You smell the wax, and they can smell the lemongrass oil that I spilt in my bee kit. So, all right, we'll see you back in a little bit. So a quick update on what's going on here. We have, I'm getting into my boxes now and trying to decide whether, I want to keep this for another year. The bee's going to do okay with that, or is it, should I get rid of it, take it out of the circulation? I think I'm going to leave this in. This side isn't so bad. This is, it's questionable. It's down a little bit here. This is, I cut the, this is from honey. So we'll see how the bees do with it this year. Probably be the last year I use it. And then you can see down here, the wax is starting to solidify. As the bucket cools down, the wax will rise up in the water, and the water will get settle down below. All the debris will go down below for the most part. But slowly but surely, I'm only basically one stack into the boxes right here. I've only gone through these boxes over here that I just brought home, and so now I'm hitting this stack here, and we'll see what I need to re-wax. I'll separate those onto one side and then continue on to the other ones. The other ones will set off to the other side and they'll be ready to go. And then get this here. And this is our second batch of wax that's getting melted here. It's getting pretty good. I've had to stir it a couple times. Break up these little chunks here. Got a big glob of wax here. that wasn't melting, so I turned the temperature up just a little bit. I got it up to 300 now, and you can see it's really bubbling here on the edges, so it's really getting that melting. It's about ready to dump into the bucket, so I'll get to that in 1 second, and I'll come back and probably wrap things up in a little while. Thank you. So this is the last melting of today. It's the third batch, and this was all the dark comb. It's not. I wasn't able to get it all in the roaster today, the roaster oven. So we'll have to finish melting stuff tomorrow because I only have the 3 buckets, and then I have all these boxes I finished going through. I got all these to re-wax, make sure they're fresh. Got a couple in between on all these here. Still have some drawn comb on these. We'll include that tomorrow. For today we're wrapping up, but we'll get you the final wrap up with the different waxes tomorrow. We'll see how they turn out. And today's Saturday, March 15th. We'll do this tomorrow, and we'll wrap up the video then. Welcome back to Beloft by Liftach. I'm David. This is just a continuation of yesterday's, so the ending, basically, of the wax melting. After I cleaned up all this bee equipment, this is our wax that we got. 3 different colors. This was the wax cappings. This was the majority of the wax, and then this bottom sleeve here, a little bit, is the wax that we got out of the dirtiest wax that we had. So not a whole lot for as much wax as there was, but it turned out real nice. You know, so we'll add that. Probably melt it all together one day. There's a little bit of the slum at the bottom here. We'll scrape that off, get rid of that. And then this turned out to be pretty good. I had this 1/4-inch wire, and I melted this, you know, rested on top there so it could drip out. So I'll probably run the hot water on top of this to melt it down a little bit more, just to get that little bit of wax. But thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe. We're just trying to grow the channel best we can. Let us know what you like. Thanks again.